Well, the Harris Waltz ticket is in overdrive mode, working to turn excitement into votes. The pair heading to Georgia this week for a statewide bus tour.
All right, many are questioning how the two will impact down-ballot elections as the race moves forward. Fox 5's Morgan McKay here. And Morgan, this is causing a bit of a squabble. We saw pop up last week between Governor Hochul and former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah, Stephen, Natasha, and at least one House Republican telling me today that he slightly credits Governor Kathy Hochul's performance with his win in 2022, saying Republicans were energized in that election. But he also pointed to the issues he says he won on that race and also are playing a role this year, including crime, affordability, and the migrant crisis.
The reason that it was a competitive race and we had competitive congressional seats was because of the issues.
Congressman Mike Lawler says a tight governor's race in 2022 might have helped his chances in winning his seats, but ultimately it came down to the issues. Republicans flipped 4 Democratic-held House seats in 2022, including one now held by Congressman Lawler, who this year is facing another competitive race. But last week at the Democratic National Convention, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi pointed the blame at Governor Kathy Hochul.
What happened last time in New York, do you think?
Well, I think it related to the gubernatorial race.
This is not the first time that Pelosi has made these comments. Back in March, after President Joe Biden gave his State of the Union address, Lawler said that Pelosi told him something similar.
She half-kiddingly said, you know, you should go thank your governor because she ran a horrible campaign. At the end of the day, no matter how inept Governor Hochul is, it's the issues. It's the affordability crisis in New York. It's the crime and migrant crises in New York.
Hochul beat Republican Congressman Lee Zeldin in 2022 by only around 6 percentage points, the closest a Republican has come to winning a statewide office in years. Hochul later responded to Pelosi's comments on Morning Joe, pointing to her efforts raising more than $5 million for the state's Democratic Party. Using this money, Democrats were able to open 35 field offices around the state in swing districts and hire more than 80 people.
No governor in the history of the state of New York has worked harder to elect members of Congress than I have.
But how Hochul's campaign might have affected down-ballot races is exactly why Democrats were nervous about having President Joe Biden at the top of the ticket. Just a few months ago, Biden was only leading former President Donald Trump by around 8 percentage points in New York. But now, with Vice President Kamala Harris at the top of the ticket, she is polling better than Biden in the state and suburbs.
Back in June, Trump led in the downstate suburbs 48 to 35%, a 13-point edge. Right now in the downstate suburbs, 47% for Harris, 47% for Trump, dead even.
And at the beginning of August, Harris said that by the end of the month, she's going to sit down for an interview, which is in just a couple of days.
And we'll see if that happens before September 10th. We've got a debate between Trump and Harris, but the two camps are arguing with each other over the rules. What's the latest on that?
So the debate is the next real race-defining moment. So a lot of pressure and a lot of eyes are going to be on this debate. Now, to put it into some context, back when Harris took over at the top of the ticket, she said to Trump, who was considering maybe backing out of this debate, they said, you know, this is the same debate. You already agreed to this. Now, one of the conditions that Biden had on his debates was that both microphones had to be muted when the other candidate was talking. So when Trump was talking, Biden's microphone had to be muted and vice versa. Now, Harris is saying that she wants the microphones to be unmuted, to have an open, carefree discussion. And Trump's campaign is saying, well, no, those aren't the rules that we agreed to, and those aren't the rules that you guys pointed to when you guys first said you wanted to still do this debate. So a little bit of a flip-flop there, because now Harris's campaign is saying, well, it's a different candidate at the top of the ticket, so we should get some say in how the rules are played. So Trump's campaign yesterday was kind of saying, you know, we're not sure now if we're going to continue with this debate. Trump this morning kind of maybe saying, well, I don't really care, but also, you know, these are the rules that we agreed to. So it's still very uncertain how exactly this is all going to play out, but I know a lot of people are really hoping that this debate happens.
It's the only one we've got agreed to at this point, too. So that'll be interesting to see for sure. All right, Morgan, we appreciate it.
Thank you.